All right, so the new Deadpool and Wolverine trailer, it's freaking awesome. Everybody's losing their minds about it, but it comes with a lot of questions. And because I can't freaking help myself, I asked around and pretty much figured out what all the answers are. I know, I thought I was off of the leaks, man, but I couldn't help myself. And we're not going to go over every little thing that's in the movie, but there are some big questions that I want to answer for you in this video. Like, what's the deal with that Wolverine? What did he do or what did he not do? What's the deal with Cassandra Nova and her possibly opening the portal at the end of the trailer? And what's up with all the crazy cameos? How's that gonna work? And is that really Elektra in the trailer? Spoiler warning! There's spoilers in this video. We're talking about spoilers and leaks and rumors. Take it with a grain of salt, but I actually think a lot of this stuff is accurate, so spoiler warning. Okay, first up, who is this Wolverine? Now, I did talk about this on a stream. We clipped it out. It's up on the channel. It was up yesterday, so some of you probably already watched that. But we actually know a little bit more now, and this is pretty juicy stuff, so let's get into this. This guy here is the worst variant of Wolverine, but he's not necessarily the worst fighter. He is an alcoholic, and that kind of leads into what he actually did, right? So let's explain that. Now, a lot of scoopers and leakers are kind of hinting at this. I asked around, and this is my impression of it right here. You know that scene in X2 where Logan just happens to come back to the school and he's there watching out, helping out? And this is when Stryker and the government get the go-ahead and they attack the school. This is while Charles is not actually there. He's visiting Magneto. Well, apparently what happens in this Wolverine's universe is he's not there. He goes to the bar and just drinks, and then they come for all the students, and without Wolverine there to do all the freaking awesome action that he does in X2, the mutants are screwed. They're all slaughtered, and that's the graves. That's what we see in that one shot. So that's kind of the deal with that Wolverine. Like, he made that really big mistake. The X-Men get slaughtered, and it's not until Deadpool takes that Wolverine to the TVA does Deadpool then discover this is a bad variant. He messed up. Now, there's also some stuff around about how that Wolverine's entire universe goes to shit or is destroyed. Maybe that has something to do with the anchor thing. I'm not really sure. Like, I'm still not sure how that fits together. But I do think from a lot of things that I've heard that that is basically what is haunting that Wolverine. And the yellow suit that he has, that's him trying to, like, remember the X-Men. He's basically wearing that suit, which we've heard before. He has, like, an attachment to this suit, right? But he's doing it to try to honor the X-Men. The dream of Charles, what was actually going to occur there, that he screwed up and wasn't able to protect them. But I'm not sure how that leads to his entire universe being destroyed or just being terrible and falling apart completely. I guess the movie will explain that, but that's basically what's going on with that variant of Wolverine. Also, I think the TVA wants Deadpool to go find Wolverine. So that's probably where we get a lot of shots of him finding other Wolverine variants, but deciding that's not the one for him. And I think that probably has to do with building this multiversal group of Avengers for the coming multiversal war. I'm hoping there's some stuff like that that's explained in the movie, but basically that's what I think is going on. Deadpool, when he's working with the TVA, going to try to find a variant of Wolverine to recruit to help fight with him. Maybe he, like, goes to the Logan universe and he's like, this dude's way too old. Fuck that. I think he's going to go find Patch and it's not going to be Hugh Jackman and he's going to hate that. Maybe this is also where the Henry Cavill cameo comes in and he's like, no, I'm not about that. But eventually he's going to find that Wolverine, Hugh Jackman Wolverine. He's going to bring him to the TVA. The TVA is going to be like, bro, this dude is horrible. What are you thinking? And then possibly prune them both, get them both then on the Void. But yes, generally speaking, that's what's going on with that Wolverine variant and why the beginning of the movie starts that way. Okay, next up, let's talk Cassandra Nova. Now, again, there's a lot of questions about this character in the movie, but things we do know is that apparently, yes, she is opening that portal at the end of the trailer. And I believe it was Alex Perez that said she gets that from a variant of Doctor Strange that was Sorcerer Supreme. Now, we don't know where exactly she's sending them or why she would even be sending them somewhere. Perhaps she's sending them somewhere else on the Void. Maybe she is somehow able to teleport them in to another reality. I'm not really sure. So far, we haven't really seen that happen, right? You can't really bring people via a sling ring into other parts of the multiverse, although it is initially explained that way in Doctor Strange 1. It doesn't appear to be that way in all the rest of the MCU, so we're not exactly sure what's going on there. Now, the other thing about Cassandra Nova is apparently she loves killing Charles Xavier variants, and that's really interesting because she has one of Charles Xavier's wheelchairs in one of the shots in the trailer. And so we've been told that Cassandra Nova is a very real threat to the multiverse. She's consolidating power on the void, which is where everything goes after a universe is destroyed. So, like, as an example, Logan in that universe was apparently the anchor for that universe. So when he dies in the Logan movie that we saw, his entire universe just ends up going to shit, dying slowly and ending up on the void. But taking that back to Cassandra Nova, it's very possible that her just being as sadistic and twisted as she is, the void is actually exactly where she wants to be, because she's having a ton of fun killing different variants of her twin brother that she absolutely hates. She's obviously consolidated a bunch of power on the void, and perhaps she just sees that this is where everything's going. So there's really no escape. Everything's just going to end up back on the void eventually. And this is kind of cool because it sets up potentially other things like this happening as we get closer to Secret Wars. Because right now it seems like it's a lot of like the Fox X-Men universes, although we see Ant-Man there as well. But I think we're kind of early days still on the collapsing of the multiverse. As this thing collapses more and more, there's just going to be so many different villains and heroes and variants of villains and heroes on the void. So it's interesting we get a villain like Cassandra Nova consolidating power, being really twisted in this movie, perhaps a sign of things to come as we get variants of Ultron, variants of Thanos, and different villains that will perhaps set up their own like fiefs or kingdoms on Battleworld. That sounds fucking amazing to me. Okay, but what about the cameos, man? What's going on with the cameos? So this is pretty interesting here because you actually can see a shot of Elektra in the trailer. It's barely noticeable. You just see like one of her elbows and like a part of her leg, but that is Jennifer Garner as Elektra on the freaking void on Battleworld, right? And so the rumor here, and this is coming from a lot of different people, the rumor is that there is a resistance on Battleworld, and that's where you're gonna have a lot of these other cameos, like the Elektra, like Channing Tatum's Gambit, who is said to have a pretty substantial role in the movie. Same thing with Daphne Keane as X-23. She's apparently on Battleworld as a part of the Resistance, and they're all fighting against them. I think the rumors of like Dakin, the rumors of Chris Evans as Human Torch, which I absolutely believe, I think that's real. I think all of that is on the void with people that have formed a resistance trying to fight against Cassandra Nova. And again, this is early days, so we can see it's like a lot of the older Marvel movies and the Fox Marvel movies, all of their timelines and universes are being destroyed. So you're getting variants and people that we've seen in these other movies popping up on Battleworld. That's kind of cool. And it's only a matter of time before we see more Avengers, right? You've got Ant-Man in there. What if we start to see like a Thor and Iron Man, even Hulk variants? So that's kind of the juice. That's where it's headed for Secret Wars. And so there's a lot of mystery still. We don't know exactly how the movie's going to take place, but based on the trailer and based on what people are saying, I think we have a pretty good idea of some of the big beats. Wade is living that life as a car salesman. He's no longer a hero. He gets recruited by Paradox and the TVA. He then goes to recruit a Wolverine, takes him some time to find a Hugh Jackman Wolverine that he thinks is good. He ends up recruiting a Wolverine that didn't save everybody in X2 and all of the mutants got slaughtered. Agent Paradox is like, this is the worst Wolverine. You suck. Deadpool probably prunes them or something, and they end up on the void. On the void, they discover that there's crazy variants. It's a Mad Max wasteland, kind of an apocalyptic thing going on. Cassandra Nova, the evil twin sister of Xavier, is forming some kind of kingdom or fiefdom. There's a resistance filled with a bunch of Fox characters. That's probably where you're gonna get get your Channing Tatums. That's probably where you're going to get some of the other X-Men, like a James Marsden, maybe even Halle Berry. Wolverine is wearing the yellow to remember his old mutant team and the dream of Charles to have the X-Men from his universe. And with Deadpool, he's going to lead the resistance to try to take over Cassandra Nova and change the fate of the Void and perhaps the fate of the entire multiverse. Now, why exactly does Cassandra Nova open a portal at the end there and send him out? Who knows? Maybe Jean Grey has control of Cassandra Nova in that moment. Maybe it's the Charles Xavier variant that has control of her. Who knows for sure? But that does appear to be them leaving to go into another universe, which we still don't know how that exactly happens. Of course, let me know what you think about some of these leaks and rumors. Some of this is speculation too, and don't ruin this for other people. People want to be surprised. Like, there's a crazy rumor out there about post-credit scene that I don't even want to talk about because it's like, damn, dude, that's a crazy surprise. If it leaks out there, maybe we'll talk about it. But just try to remember, if you're one of those people that doesn't care about leaks, that's all good. I'm in that boat too. I like learning about the leaks. I don't want to know everything, but I like learning about it, so I engage in this content. But don't just go flagrant on Twitter and ruin this for other people. Try to keep it chill. Try to keep it between us. But yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I think this sounds freaking awesome. And as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video.